Bringing around the third month of 2018 is Punk Ghost Rider on a skateboarder. I really love this design by Jessie Sharon. Check her out on Twitter. She's got this sweet mermaid comic. She's done a couple of these cool concepts that I just dug. I had to draw myself. Also, for the month of March, I decided to break out the old brush pen and try inking just basically strictly with that. I don't think I used the pen all that much, but the brush pen was utilized very much, trying to get some new lines, line weights, doing some new stuff with the shadows and whatnot. So let me escort you through the month of March. So you have this cool scene from Bond Spectre. Didn't like how much it got muddied with the brush pen, so I went back through here, did a couple of quick sketches of the faces. I really love that train scene from Spectre. For the third one, have this sweet picture. I like the whole concept of it, like the sweet neon sign in the back and whatnot. I went back after I did all the brushwork again. Didn't like the face, got so muddied, so did it with pencil. Left it with that. Probably one of my favorites for the month is this. Amy Dallin does a couple comic book shows for Geek and Sundry. Runs her own comic book store. She posted this picture of her in this goblin onesie. Thought it was too adorable not to draw, so probably one of my favorites that turned out this month. Really enjoy that. The 5th, we're back to Emma Dumont and her ballerina poses. I'm midway on this one. I really like the gesture of it. I wish it would have turned out better in my mind. Her face is really close down there. I think a couple more times and I'll have it down pat. Number 6, for the March of Robots, Gaz was doing. I couldn't let him do it alone. Drawing some G1 love for some Optimus Prime. I really like how the sketch turned out. I probably will do something with it down the road. Either making my own puppet Optimus Prime sketch type thing, or just drawing another design like that I have from many of my stories. So on to the 7th. Have this drawing of Casey Neistat with the grinder in his shop working on stuff. The whole body got really muddied when I went to brush pen. One of the casualties of this month. I will probably redraw this at some point this year, but just sometimes you swing and you miss. Much like this picture, I really like the design of this, but the legs are way too short. They should probably be down to more bound down there. So she's a little stockier than I would have hoped, but I really like the shadows on the back of the legs. This Medusa holding snakes, like it's just a wild concept. Went back, redid her face like that a lot more. But things to work on. Pay attention to while I'm drawing. For the 9th, you have this geisha and this samurai showing down. I really like how that armor looked, but it was it was this silhouette design that I really wanted to try and see if I could get that simple, like, you know what you're looking at kind of look. I think it works, but I would love to give it another shot and make it work even better. Moving on to the 10th. I have this shot of Trinity. Since been watching Jessica Jones season 2, saw Trinity on there. Had to pull this shot from the Matrix. I think it's Matrix 2 maybe. But once again, her face got muddied, so I went down here. Did it with the pencil. Really like how it looks down here. I think I really got this. The whole hand holding the gun positioning really turned out awesome. Really like how that turned out, actually. Groot, not so much. Groot's one of those ones where it's very hit or miss if I nail the design or not. And went back here, tried to getting his face a little better. He's got such a cartoon face that it's easy to miss if you're not 100% invested. And like I drew Groot a couple times last year and really like how they turned out, but just wasn't happy about that one. You have this Shin Godzilla like cartoony look, and I really like how this turned out, but I would love to give it another shot. It's one of those issues where the person who drew it has really confident lines, really like they knew what they were doing, so they just nailed it. Either that or it was actually in a print and they took forever doing lines and making sure they were perfect. But it was nice to just try something like this and like put lines down, see if I could get them, see if I can get some more confident lines going forward. But I really like how that turned out. Looking forward to trying some more cartoony-esque drawings like that. This one was probably the one I was afraid of most when I planned out the month of sketches to do. It's this little guy here surrounded by these different monster creatures. I thought this was a good reference to have in my sketchbook of different monster heads, different... I don't know. I love how this looks. I just don't like the mess that it is. So I might try that down the road as well. But for what it is, I do like that. This is probably the biggest train wreck of this month. Like, I love lions, and I try to nail them, try to get them drawn well, but this one did not want to cooperate with me. Even down here for the head redraw, like, such a mess, such chaotic, not fixable mess. Then for the middle of the month, one of my old college professors had this sweet Triceratops onesie, and he put it on for a picture, and I was coming across that in my photo library and was like, you know what, I've got to try. So I really like how this turned out. Even I like them both equally of how they turned out on their own, and these are little ideas that I know are going to stick with me going down the road and trying new concepts and whatnot. We have some more Berserk. The scene where Guts is hanging on to Griffith as he's on this whole like pillar of faceless souls. I wanted to do more of the face work, but kind of got caught up trying to get these lines right and just let it drift away. I really like this design from Lux Nova Studio, I believe it is. I did a couple of her cyborg drawings last year and wanted to do some more of hers. I really like how this works. Looking forward to trying some more of her work, but I got it as good as I could with a brush, but I know I can do better. This is probably one of my favorite scenes from the Rocket Raccoon series that Jake Parker took over for Scotty Young drawing. I believe these were issues that Scotty Young was drawing, though. This entire issue is told by Groot. So everything that happens is exclaimed by I am Groot. And like it does a great job of showing that telling, even though he's talking throughout it, but it is only I am Groot. So I want to say it's issue 6 of that 11 issue series. I'll post for sure in the link down below. I'll link to it, and you definitely got to check it out because it's so much fun. Groot going through and telling this whole story. Zombies, I'm a big fan of them. I had to draw them at some point. This was a sweet... I don't think it's Bernie Wrightson, but it's a very Bernie Wrightson-esque zombie scene with these gravestones and this hill overlooking these other zombies coming out of the graveyard. I really like how that turned out, especially with the brush pen inks over that concept. This probably another one of my favorites of this month. There's some detail flaws with it, but for the most part, I could easily see this turning into a puppet and telling a little story with it. This little samurai Spidey. I really like it. Really love this design, so looking forward to that. It's just completely random. Had this telescope picture, like looking out at the star, was seeing if I could recreate it with my brush pen, and did a good job. I'm pleased with this picture, but I know I could do better if I took my time, but kind of rushed it, kind of got like halfway through and was like, you know what, I'm over this telescope picture. But I really like how it breaks up the month. The 22nd, this is when I had started having problems drawing skulls. I think going forward, I'm going to be trying to practice on a lot more skulls, so look forward to that. But I like this whole dichotomy of this doll being wound up and dancing with like this winged demon, this kind of dance with death-esque sketch. So really like how that turned. I like the concept, but I wish the drawing would have looked better. You can see how I tried refining it down there, but it just didn't work out to my liking. Moving forward, you have this sweet Datsun-esque sketch. It's one of Sean Gordon Murphy's favorite cars, so of course it was going to get some love in my sketchbook at some point. I believe this was from his White Knight series, when he has this stockpile of cars that they turn into Batmobiles. Some more practice with Skull. Had this Ghost Rider piece. I think I'm definitely going to be trying some more Ghost Rider pieces, because I think if this head was down just another inch, that would be a perfect piece. But you know, working, live and learn, and trying to work new concepts and whatnot. Whoops. If you read that, you'll know that this is going to be one of the SketchUps later this month. This Gomez and Morticia, a little cute cartoony sketch. I think much like the Shin Godzilla and the Medusa and the Samurai Spidey. I really like these cartoon designs, and I want to do more work with them, trying new things and getting them to work. Also, another one that will be a SketchUp, this Demon Geisha. This is by far the best technical drawing I did of this month. I really like how neat I got some of the ink lines with that brush pen. These spikes coming out of her leg, like, really set the piece off. It's not as good as the original, but it's pretty damn close to the original, for my liking anyway. There's some things, detail with the hair and whatnot, that I could do better, but I really like how that turned out. Some Neon Genesis Evangelion love. Has her Eva unit in the back. This scene where she has her eye taken from her and is like reaching towards what's his name and says, "I'll kill you." I really like that design, how that worked out. It's a very comic-esque tattoo, and would love to have something like this. This shadow work that Makura does is something that just absolutely fascinates me. I wish I would have detailed her hair in a different color. You can't necessarily tell with the blue, but it's running through her fingers and everything. I think it does a great job of breaking up the little details. Would love to try more things like this going forward. I really like how that split face looks too. Showing this heavy design look that she pulls off. Ghost in the Shell. didn't really have her head cocked to the side as much as I would have liked, so redrew it down there. Really like how this turned out for a fast and loose sketch, but would love to go back in, redo it, and make it even better. So having little things in my sketchbook like this to work on down the road. As promised last month, I did a Zendaya sketch and wasn't pleased with it, so I had to do another one of her in almost the same pose with ink to add some difficulty to it. I like how this turned out. Definitely her hair. Tried some stylized things. Came over here, did her face a little bit better after the fact of inking her whole body. But yeah, really like how that turned out. And then to end the month, have my boy Frankenstein's monster. I have a friend working on her own Frankenstein piece and just wanted to give her some more oomph and gusto to get her piece finished. I really like how this piece turned out. I really want to do some more loose sketches like this of these monsters. I think I'd make his chin a little bit wider or longer for sure. Drop in the shoulders a little bit better, but really like how it turned out. So looking forward to April even more. I'm going to stick with inking, but instead of the brush pen, I'm just going to be using a regular fine tip pen. So look forward to what comes out of this next month. So thanks for checking this out, and look forward to sharing off my sketchbook with you next month. Peace.